Good morning, students. So far, we have discussed the concept of family and the functions of family, types of family. We also discussed the concept of clan and functions and characteristics of clan, types of clans. And now, the third concept is origination of society. So we discussed the origination of family, origination of clan. Now the third concept is origination of society, and also we'll discuss relation between human being and society, the connection between human beings and society, the formation of society, the origination of society will be discussed in this lecture. And we have several theories, social theories also, by various sociologists and philosophers. We'll discuss those theories in this lecture. Right. So if you look at this text, that origination of society, that human beings are social animals. Human beings are called gregarious animals or social animals. They live in a social groups, in communities as well as in societies. So human life and society almost go together. Human beings cannot live without societies, and human beings are biologically and psychologically equipped to live in groups and in society. And society has become an essential condition for human life to arise and to continue. So this is the basic info of society. So society is very much connected with the individuals, and society is connected with individuals biologically and psychologically, and human beings live in societies, and society has become an essential aspect for human beings, and society has become an essential condition for human beings to live, to lead, and to arise and to continue. The relation between individual and society is ultimately one of the profound aspects of all the problems in social philosophy. This is the basic problem in most of the cases. The relation between society and individuals is one of the profound aspects of all the problems in social philosophy, and it is both philosophical and sociological because it involves the question of practices in one hand and norms and values on the other hand. So basically, the social thinkers view from this aspect, and they see that the relation between society and individuals is the root cause for all social problems, according to sociologists. And they also say this is philosophical and sociological because it involves the question of social practices on the one hand and also the values and norms of society on the other hand. And human beings depend on society. It is in the society that an individual is surrounded and encompassed by culture, that is what is called societal force. So this is another aspect we need to understand. Human beings depend on society. It is the society that an individual is encompassed and surrounded by culture. So culture again is a societal force. It is the society again that human beings have to conform to the norms, values, and occupy statuses and become members of groups, unknowingly. So this is another aspect we need to understand, that human beings depend on the society, and they are surrounded and encompassed by culture. Culture is the societal force, and society again, that human beings have to conform to the norms and values of society, and they occupy statuses in societies, and they become members of societies. And the question of the relation between the human beings and the society is the starting point for many discussions. So the question of the relation between society and individuals is the starting point of many discussions. There are mainly two theories existing regarding the connection or relationship between society and individuals, and those two theories are called social contract theory and organismic theory. So the first famous theory is a social contract theory. So in social contract, let us look at social contract theory. The social contract theory throws light on the origin of society. According to this theory, all human beings are born free and equal. So there are two famous theories existing regarding the origination of society, and the first one is social contract theory. Social contract theory throws light on the origination of society. According to this theory, all human beings are born free and equal. Society came into existence because of agreement entered into by the individual. And the classical representatives of this social contract theory, Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. So here, according to this theory, all human beings are born free and equal. But they came into society by an aspect called social agreement. And there are some classical writers on this theory. Those are Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. So these theories are classical writers of this social contract theory. So let us look at those their views of origination of society, or their views and their understanding of origination of society. So Thomas Hobbes, what Thomas Hobbes said, or what is the theory of Thomas Hobbes? Thomas Hobbes was the opinion that society came into being as a means for the protection of human beings against the consequences of their own nature. So Thomas Hobbes came with a new idea, with a new aspect, that a society came into being as a means for the protection of human beings against the consequences of their own nature. So it's a purely contradictory statement that he says the concept of society has come into existence because to protect the human beings against their own violent nature. And according to him, he says human beings in the state of nature were in perpetual conflict with their neighbors, and account of their essentially selfish nature. According to him, that human beings are selfish, and because of this selfishness, human beings have always they always have the perpetual conflicts with their neighbors and with the other human beings. With this, so because of this, the life of these human beings was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short, and every human being was an enemy to every other human being. So this is his theory. The concept of society has come into existence because of this. He says this concept of society has come into existence to protect the human beings against from their nature, their original nature. And he says that human beings always have this continuous conflicts with other human beings because of their selfish nature. And generally, in their original state of human beings, they were poor, nasty, brutish, and short. And every human being was an enemy to every other human being. And Hobbes, in his book Leviathan, made it very clear that human beings found nothing but grief in the company of other fellows. He says in his book Leviathan, he made it very clear point that human beings, they always suffer. They suffered in the company of other human beings, since the conditions in the state of nature were intolerable, and human beings longed for peace. The people entered into a kind of social contract, or ensure for themselves security and certainty of life and property. So this point we need to understand. And Thomas Hobbes, in his book Leviathan, he made it very clear that Human beings found nothing. They found nothing but grief, sorrow in the company of other human beings. And since the conditions in the state of nature were intolerable and human beings longed for peace, peace, the people entered into a kind of social contract or ensure for themselves security and certainty and property. By mutual agreement, they decided to surrender their natural rights into the hands of few or one with the authority or to the command. The agreement was of each with all and of all each other. The contract became binding on the whole community as perpetual social bond. And this is order this thus in order to protect themselves against evil consequences of their own nature, human beings organized themselves in society in order to live in peace with all. So this is Thomas Hobbes' opinion. So we'll discuss John Locke and Jean Jacques Rousseau's views in the next videos. Thank you.